Take the public meeting order, please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Close?
Here.
Mrs. Passio? Here. Mr. Ranieri?
Here.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Here.
Mr. Ruth?
Here.
Mrs. Kelly?
Mrs. Kelly.
Here. Mr. Farrell's not here.
Mr. Powell is excused.
Mr. Long?
Here.
Mr. Bayshore?
Here.
And Mr. Diori?
Here.
Okay, public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. One, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 3rd, 2018, and two, emailed to the Retrospect in the Courier Post on January 3rd, 2018. First, we have the approval of minutes. A motion is in order for the approval of minutes of the April 24th, 2018 and May 1st, 2018 meetings submitted by the clerk, as each member has reviewed copies of the same. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Ms. Passio. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes are approved. Reports.
And the report of the municipal court for the month of May, a total of $32,873.78 is collected in fines. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. We have the report of the registrar for the month of May, a total of $2,300 was collected for death copies, marriage copies, and marriage licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. And the report of the borough clerk for the month of May, a total of $23,310 was collected for various licenses and permits, including pet licenses. The large amount is a reflection of the liquor license fees that were paid. I have the report of the treasurer for the month of April, dated April 30, 2018. Total fund revenue, $37,328.26. I recorded the fire marshal for the month of May. A total of $4,797 was collected in fire fees. There were 64 total inspections, 121 EMS incidents, and 42 fire incidents. There was one Type 4 permit issued, and EMS fees collected $29,688.41. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. And the report of the tax collector for the month of May, a total of $1,386,278.09 was collected in taxes, and in sewer rentals, $28,173.39. And that's all that I have.
Okay. A motion to approve the reports as read.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Passio. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Reports are good. We have a public hearing. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 18-08, which is our bond ordinance authorizing the completion of various capital improvements. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. I'll make motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Lobenstein. All in favor to close the public portion?
Aye.
Okay. Is there a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
I'll second that.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Ranieri. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 nay.
All right, this ordinance is adopted. So ordinance status 18-09 is an ordinance authorizing amendment to the Borough Runnemede Police Department rules and regulations. This is the public portion. There's a public portion of this ordinance. Would anyone like to speak? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion to close. I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Mr. Ranieri. All in favor to close the public portion?
Aye.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt?
I'll make a motion to adopt on second and final reading and advertise according to law.
Okay, motion by Ms. Kelly, is there a
I'll
second?
second that motion.
Second by Ms. Passio. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Keller?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
5 ayes, 1
All right, this ordinance is adopted. Okay, we have committee reports. Mr. Ranieri, Finance.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Good evening to all.
Good evening, John.
Thank you. First, I would like to congratulate Nick, Eleanor, and Craig for winning the election, the primary. You guys did a great job with class and hard work, and we are truly very lucky to have you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back to finance. Last meeting, we introduced our budget, and we will be amending and adopting our 2018 budget tonight. Our second reading tonight for the bond ordinance 1808 will be approved and accepted.
We did.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Has. Let's change it.
Has been accepted. Thank you. And after a short required waiting period of about 3 weeks, we will shop around for some competitive funding rates, and the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Public safety.
First of all, I want to congratulate Greg and the mayor on a wonderful election. We work as a team, and we ran as a team, and it was very, very successful. Okay, on my report, fire and EMS fees collected to date, $147,521.60. So 147,521.60. Right on target with the expected revenue that comes in for the year. There were 2 Narcan deployments during the month of May, and we had some good information about the quotes for the HGAC contracts for equipment. And it was given to the business administrator and is ready to be ordered as soon as the purchase orders can be completed. The closeout is still not available for our last grant received in 2016. So we're also checking on the status of our current application. And this is for turnout gear and the other equipment that we use for our fire department. All training has been completed by Officer Kearney, and we have been very busy responding to fire calls during the month of May. The Quint and the squad were both continued to respond to Gloucester Township in response to their need during the days, especially because we have full-time people on the day to answer any fire department requests. And that's it for the fire department. The police department, as you know, we had a grant given to us for click it or ticket. And it was for May 21st to June 3rd. We had officers out on patrol, and they worked for 2 4-hour shifts every day, trying to educate and also to notice our people that driving without your seatbelt is an offense. So they did issue 119 summonses for the clicker ticket grant. They had 188 stops. They had 3 warrant arrests from those stops and 2 drug arrests. So our men were out there, and unbelievable that people still don't use their seatbelts. So hopefully this will educate our people that this is important. And as far as the total figures for the month, we had 988 calls for service for our police department. We issued 480 traffic summonses. There were 27 motor vehicle crashes. They had 133 arrests, and they used 62 hours of overtime. There were no Narcan deployments by the police department. And that's my report, Mr. Mayor.
The 62 hours of overtime, that was part of the click it or ticket program?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Public events. Council President
Thank you.
Passio.
Thank you, Mayor. My congratulations also to you,
Thank
Mayor Potts, Eleanor, and Craig. You did a great job. Great job. Very proud. Okay, so we have the 4th of July parade coming up, which will be on a Wednesday at 1 p.m. The main parade will start at 1 p.m. At 9 a.m. in the morning, it will be the bicycle parade. And at 9:30, it will be the baby parade, all taking place at the Harry Williams, and it will be a rain or shine or rain. We can do it inside if it does rain. Rain date for the 4th of July for the main parade, and that is like a torrential monsoon. That would be for Saturday, July 7th at 1 o'clock. We are also having on June 16th at 9 a.m. from 9 to 11, Borough cleanup at Green Acres. And we're going to meet at 8:45 in the morning under the pavilion. So the Borough of Runnemede is all invited to come out and take place in cleaning up around Green Acres. So, I don't know. Possible refreshments.
Well, that'll get you out.
Possible refreshments.
Refreshments. Pizza and
Snacks.
soda always gets John out. So.
Not just me, other people too.
It does. It does. It draws you on in. So. Okay. Pizza and soda it is. You know, I have to talk to our CFO and see if that is in my budget. Then with that, I say progress.
Okay, thank you. Engineering will skip, and we'll let the engineer do that for Mr. Farrell. Public Works, Mr. Root.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Basically, besides the same old day-to-day work the Public Works has been doing all summer, we did get 11 vacant properties from code enforcement, and which we started cutting today. So having 11, I guess, is
Okay.
yeah, it's a good number.
Yeah.
It's what we were dealing with the last couple of years. So I just wanted to let everybody know that, and the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Parks and Recreation, Mr. Lobenstein.
The RY baseball is still going on. They're in the playoffs currently right now. The soccer season down at Green Acres is going to wrap up pretty quick. They might have 1 or 2 games left. The fountain right now, the aerator down at the Hearst Lake, there's a problem with the breakers on the vandalism we had before. We have to get that fixed. Get an electrician in, I guess. Mr. Root's going to work that out with Mr. Wozon. And the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Administrators report, Mr. Diori.
Thank you, Mayor, and congratulations on the election, Craig and Eleanor. Great job. I had an opportunity to pass out more of an official administration report. It goes through different topics: technology, finance, administration, legal, different things like that. And if you flip through it in your spare times, and if you have any questions, I'm always available for you. Some of the highlights that I just want to go over, our audit is almost complete. There are a couple items that were requested that I'm working on now to finish that up. Obviously, our budget is going to be adopted tonight. And administratively, we continue to work on different things throughout the township. One of the things is refunding trash, reimbursement, things like that. You know, just keeping a pulse on that stuff. We're really tending to our technical advancements in the building and our IT and different things, because our insurance, the JIF, Joint Insurance Fund, they like to see that we're taking into consideration cybersecurity. So I've been working with IT, we've been working with our telephone people, and also and trying to advance cybersecurity. We're making the attempts. I think last week I sent an email that there's going to be a note on the computer when it comes up saying that it's the property of the borough. There's going to be different requirements for passwords, different things like that that our insurance carrier likes to see. And there's an incentive reimbursement that will go into the contract for that too. We'll be updating our SAM registration, which allows us to be eligible for federal grants, specifically FEMA. FEMA is a big one that we have to register for. Our municipal alliance, I believe, is on the agenda for tonight, which is always good. It helps with drug prevention and awareness in the borough. I think it really helps with our lead program for the kids in school. And we have finally procured our time and attendance software, which has helped efficiency across the board with everything. As far as preparing payroll, as far as calculating time, absences, vacation will be more accurate, and will be more accountable for things like that.
Excuse me, Jim, is that being used now? Is it a
It's not being used, we just got the agreement to sign. I have the solicitor reviewing that. Once that review is done, we'll be moving forward with that project.
Being the next.
And that was part of
We just
the,
got it yesterday.
that was part of the bond anticipation, or the bond that we did, was that part of that as a capital?
No.
Oh, it's in the budget?
It's in our budget.
Oh, it's in our current
As a
budget?
matter of fact,
It's a lease.
we came in significantly less with the vendor that we chose. The vendor that we chose offered the same. It might not have all the thrills and might not look so pretty, but it gives us what we want. And Joyce, Beth, and myself, we spent a significant amount of time looking at the vendors, and we're happy with our choice. And I guess the rest is progress, as we say.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, solicitors report.
Congratulations to Mayor Capados, Councilman Lobenstein, and Councilwoman Kelly. It is nice to be back for you all, and nothing else to say beyond progress.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a month. Okay. Engineers report.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Bashir.
Mayor. And not to sound like a broken record, but congratulations to the three of you. I had submitted a written report prior to last week's caucus meeting. Steve Bach was here to talk about it. I just have a couple things to add. We did have a meeting with South Jersey Gas, who's planning on coming into town with several large projects. So I've been working with Harry Wojak and Jim regarding permit fees. Harry would like us to have a little more presence out there so that the road restorations and the park strips get restored a little bit better than they have in past history. So we're going to be working on those permit fees. And I believe South Jersey Gas is going to be coming in at one of your upcoming meetings to have like a public information session. The neighborhood where this largest project is going to be is between Green Acres and the Volt School in that neighborhood, back in that area.
Yeah, I think what we clarified at the last meeting was that we will allow them to use this facility.
Okay.
It won't be our meeting, it'll be their meeting
Okay.
to communicate, to communicate to the residents that are affected by the work.
Okay.
So if you want to make sure they understand that too, that was something that we talked.
Okay, sounds great. And the rest of the progress, unless anybody has any questions about anything?
Quick question, Mark. On the bottom of Patricia Lane in Schubert, right across from Triton High School, there's a big patch and it's sinking.
In Schubert?
Is it on Schubert?
It's on
Schubert's
Schubert.
a county road. So
It's
we
a
have to
county
make-
road?
So we have to make a formal complaint to the county.
Yeah, and they've already notified us that they were going to do part of the road
Yeah,
repair.
This seems, I go by there every morning, my Dunkin' Donuts run, and it seems to have sunk more in the last week than anything else, so I guess,
I think at the last freeholder meeting, they did say they were redoing some of that work. I don't remember exactly, but that is their road. We'll just make sure we have to let them know about that additional.
I can call Susan up or something like that.
Yeah, it was on the, Michael, it was on the agenda from their last meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm working with the county engineer on several projects, so I can bring that to her.
okay.
Mark Teal picked up the signed plans.
Okay.
You have a copy
Yes.
of it, so the
Dunkin' Donuts.
drive-in at the Dunkin' Donuts will begin soon.
Oh, great.
We have to-
So you got the final site plan?
We've got the site plan, now we have to review it and get the escrow and performance bond in place.
Is it going to remain the same as what John, who was it that we recommended, Teal?
He provided an engineer's estimate, we just have to review it to make sure it's accurate.
A cost estimate,
And we will,
basically, is that what you're
and we will
saying?
make a recommendation to you regarding what those amounts should be. And that-
That won't hold them up for getting started though, will it?
Right now, I'm not sure when they're looking to get started, but that is a step we have to take.
So
It's part of doing business.
I understand. I just didn't want to hold them up if something can be done administratively to just let them post the bond. No?
It needs a letter from me. I will get on it tomorrow and get it out.
Thank you.
So indeed, on the internet somewhere, it stated that the project is not going to happen. So the drive-through window
What's that?
at
Oh,
at the Dunkin' Donuts,
Let's-
it is going forward, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, the only thing I would say once again is I think they're trying to do the work while school is out. I think that was their intent. That's why I was
We'll
slow.
be taken care of tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Mark, to
Yes.
backtrack, when does the PSE&G want to have this town meeting?
South Jersey.
South Jersey Gas for,
South Jersey Gas.
They're going to let us know.
sure, they were talking about having it during one of your caucus meetings, but
Mr. Wood was here that evening. He felt that it was their agenda, it should be their meeting, but we can obviously allow them to use this facility.
it's more public information, just to let everybody know in that, especially in that neighborhood.
And letters will go out to everybody.
They were
It's- Yeah, letters are required to go out, but the actual public meeting as a courtesy to the residents. And once we know when that is, you can post on your webpage and let them know about that. But they're not required to send letters to every homeowner for that part, for the information session. But before they do work on the street, they have to do door hangers or notify the residents that they will be coming in to their neighborhood.
And it's about 200 homes?
It's 350, they said.
Yeah,
350 homes.
350 homes will be affected, yes.
350 homes.
They're going to have a meeting on that, we'll split everyone.
Okay. Anything else? Mr.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Old business, we have none. Public comment, okay. This portion of the meeting is open to the public. This is to allow anybody who wants to speak about the upcoming resolutions. Please come to the microphone, state your name and address. This part of the public meeting is only for these upcoming resolutions. Is there anyone wishing to speak about these? Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion to close the public portion.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Lobenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
That public portion is closed. New business. Request authorization to issue a used car lot license to All About All Sales LLC. All paperwork in order. Is there a motion to approve that? Motion by
I'll second the motion.
Mr. Root, second by Ms. Passio. Is that all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Resolution 1866, the resolution authorizing an interlocal service agreement by and between the County of Camden and the Borough of Runnemede in conjunction with the Governor's Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse.
I'll make a motion.
Municipal Alliance.
I'll
Motion
second that motion.
motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Passio. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
Resolution is adopted. Resolution 1867 is a resolution that the 2018 budget can be read by title only at the time of the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Passio.
Don't need a roll call.
Don't need a roll call? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that resolution is adopted. And then this portion is the public hearing. We're discussing the 2018 municipal and sewer budget. Do I have to read the title? Is that it? That's it? This portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wishing to speak about the budget, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Seeing no one, is there a motion to close the public?
Also move?
I'll second that.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Ms. Passio. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public portion is closed. Is there a motion to adopt the 2018 municipal?
I make the
Oh, we have to amend it first, I apologize. There's a little amendment here. So Resolution 18-68 is a resolution to amend the 2018 budget. This is that insertion that we had to do from the interlocal agreement with Magnolia.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri,
Second that motion.
second by Ms. Passio. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein?
Yes.
Mrs. Passio?
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri?
Yes.
And Mr. Root?
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
All right, the resolution is adopted. Right now, it's time for a motion to adopt the 2018 budget. Is there someone wishing to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Root, second by Ms. Kelly. She's good. Roll call, please. It's a seniority thing.
Mrs. Kelly.
It is seniority.
Mrs. Kelly. Yes. Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Rude.
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
All right, the 2018 budget is adopted. Resolution 18-69 is a resolution confirming 2018 appointments. This is for, it's a three, what's that, I'll read it. Yep. In the police department, Matthew Woolen is the municipal humane law enforcement officer. And in the municipal court, Ryan Trebosh, municipal court judge, for a 3-year term at $17,210 per year pro. In the fire department, Caitlin Moser is a part-time EMT at $12.25 per hour. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Passios, second by Ms. Kelly. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
Right, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 18-70 is a resolution authorizing a refund of tax payments to the mortgage services company due to property being owned by a 100% totally disabled veteran. This is a check for $3,043 to Core Logic. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Passio. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
All right, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 18-71 is a resolution authorizing a $1,000 donation to the Borough of Barrington for fireworks. This is our yearly contribution to the fireworks celebration at the Barrington facility. Is there a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Root. Roll call, please. Any other
Mrs. Kelly.
discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
All right, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 18-72 is a resolution granting 2018-2019 liquor licenses to, I'll read them off real quickly to everyone. The Vault, Kid Rips, Philly Diner, The Mile, the club license for the VFW, the club license for the Runnemede Fire Company, and the Runnemede Discount Liquor Store. So we are missing,
Yeah, they have, I have nothing from that.
okay, we're still missing the hotel
So we
license.
have until, what was it, July
June-
30th? I don't know, Dan, if you're the one that researched that. That's the hotel,
The hotel license.
somebody was researching it in your firm.
Wasn't me, but I'll.
Okay, I think it was the 30th, was it?
Well, the
June?
30th is when the term ends, but I think they give them an extra, I thought it was July 30th or something.
Extension. Okay. Okay, is there a motion to approve the licenses?
Also move. I'll second that motion.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Ms. Passio. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
Yes.
Five
All
ayes.
right, the resolution is adopted. Resolution 18-73 is a resolution authorizing approval of a clothing bin application. And this is,
These are the two across from the Philly Diner.
okay, this is the
And
lead.
the three that are in the Acton parking lot.
Okay, the three, the lead and the one for Susan G. Code.
Keith and I just realized that they have to come, the way the ordinance is written, it has to come in front of you.
Really?
To be approved, yeah,
Every
that's how you adopted it.
Okay.
So,
What it is? Okay, is there a motion to approve these?
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Motion by Ms. Passio, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Lobenstein. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Mr. Root.
No.
No?
Mr. Root doesn't like the clothing.
I don't know,
Okay, well, you don't get the vote.
thank you, Mike.
All right, this resolution is adopted. Payment of bills. Did everyone receive the payment of bill list?
There's three of them on the.
Oh, okay, the summaries? Okay.
I make a motion to pay
Make a
the bills.
motion. Mr. Ranieri,
I'll second that motion.
second by Ms. Passio.
Who was that, Mr. Ranieri?
Mr. Ranieri, Ms. Passio. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passios.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mr. Root.
Yes.
It's okay. The payment of bills will happen. That's it. So this portion of the meeting is good and welfare. Anyone wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Mr. Del Sordo. If you'd like to come up, that would be great.
First of all, Mayor and Council, I'd like to congratulate the candidates.
Mr. Lobenstein, there is etiquette to the rules, Robert's rules of procedure.
For the record, I'm a taxpayer. Robert Belsford, I was one of the smallest taxpayers in the community. I live on Clemens Bridge Road. I'd like to congratulate the three of you, obviously, on the work and job well done. But I also bring congratulatory messages from Assemblywoman Jones, who I just left at the Battleship. But that's really not why I'm here tonight, okay? Why I'm here tonight is that you have done a wonderful job in redecorating this courtroom and this assembly room. But there's a big blank, and the big blank is where there used to be pictures behind you. And some of you may or may not know it, but I've been responsible in various ways for everything that's here at this time, so I don't want to lose my trend. At this time, I'm going to ask Sergeant Sampolsky to assist me in opening something which I'm going to present to the borough. We do it nicely. We're going to do it soon. But Sergeant Sampolsky, partially involved, you may not be able to. Mr. Mayor, members of council, I'd like to present this on behalf of the Retired Police and Firemen's Association of the state of New Jersey. Okay? And with your permission, I'll read the rear to that. Let me just show the general public so they have it. This is a limited edition. It's a limited edition that's available. Yeah. This September 11th, 2001 memorial artwork was presented to the Borough of Runnemede, Camden County, New Jersey, by order of the Board of Trustees, New Jersey Retired Police and Firemen's Association, in cooperation with Local 11 Camden and Gloucester Chapter, in appreciation for the continuing support of the municipality in furthering the interests of its retired police and fire employees and residents. The original of this artwork is on display at the New York 9/11 Memorial, and the proceeds from the sale of the prints are dedicated to the memory of first responders who made the ultimate sacrifice in an effort to save others. This is dated June 5th, 2018, presented by Robert A. Del Soto, General Counsel, and Dennis Steele, who was one of our local residents, New Jersey trustee at large.
Very nice.
I'd like to present it to you. Hopefully, you'll put it in an excellent place.
We will.
And it has, the purpose behind it is we do pay a certain amount of respect to those who lost their lives. There is nothing in the borough that we have for September 11th. We now have it, and you can see what it says. Mr. Mayor, may want to read what it says on the bottom.
Yes, through this storm, we do not walk alone. Very nice.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
Yes, we definitely will get it up. And when we were meeting the other day at the memorial service that Mr. Del Soto had for the veterans, we also talked about providing a wall for the VFW here at the Borough Hall for some of their memorabilia. And Bob has also helped, stated that he will help us with that also to get that wall done.
Can I just mention the World War I Memorial?
Yes, please.
Okay. At the Memorial Day ceremony, some of you may not have been present, but the 100th anniversary of the ending of World War I will occur on November 11th, which is Veterans Day. Some of you may or may not know that the cannon that we have out underneath the canopy at Veterans Green is a World War I cannon, and it has a little history behind it. I thought that it would be appropriate for us not to forget World War I, because those veterans actually started the American Legion here, John Irwin Post 250. It was started in 1919 after they came back. Unfortunately, the post is no longer there anymore, but the building still exists.
Yes.
And
We
it's
have
still.
a plaque on our building.
Absolutely. You took the words out of my mouth. But that's exactly right. The plaque will remain there in memory of the American Legion. What I'd like to do is to get a memorial plaque put at the base of the cannon, okay? And basically just memorialize the fact that we in Runnemede remember it. Runnemede was not a borough in 1918. It was part of Center Township. We had a little bit difficult time knowing exactly who lived in Runnemede, except for those names that were provided to us over the course of time. But there were a substantial number of residents of what is now Runnemede who were drafted in the AEF, American Expeditionary Forces, and were brought to Europe for the purposes of ending World War I. The Yanks are coming, you may remember that song that they had. And a lot of them didn't come back because of the trench warfare, the gas warfare that was undertaken. They did not expect that type of warfare. And a lot of them came back. I remember when I was a kid, remember seeing the World War I veterans marching in the 4th of July parade. Probably none of you are old enough to remember that, but I remember seeing it so vividly. Mr. DiSecco, for instance, was a commander, and he was very proud. He came from Italy, and he came to the United States, very proud to have served in World War I. He returned to France, and he always made sure that World War I was remembered. So I'd like to pick up the hammer at this point and have this plaque dedicated. I can tell you right now that our VFW was kind enough to grant $200 immediately for it. Assemblywoman Jones wants to donate, Sheriff Wilson came up to me immediately. So it's a project, but I don't want large donations. I don't want them. I want small donations. I would rather see a $5 bill from a kid who's in school. I'd rather see a $10 bill from a family. Every one of you who donate will be given a wall of honor. We're going to put in the Borough Hall, there'll be a wall of honor with the collage of the pictures that we have for that, so that they will be remembered and the plaque will be placed at the base of it. Obviously, I'm asking for mayor and council support in this matter, and if we can have it done, we'll get it done as rapidly as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're going to get a separate account. I hope to just keep that somewhere. Okay.
We've actually talked about that.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yes.
Okay. Because I sent some money yesterday.
Oh, you did already?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Mr.
Bob.
Del Sar.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, anyone else wishing to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Yes, you can raise it up.
Lale Bratton, 43 State, and I have a prepared statement.
Yeah, excuse me, your name again?
Lale Bratton, 43 East State. Good evening. I'm here today on behalf of my organization, the South Jersey chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America, as well as a group with whom we collaborate, Food and Water Watch. Food and Water Watch is an environmental organization that works to protect clean air and water for all and protect our natural resources. We are part of a coalition of over 60 organizations across New Jersey that are calling for 100% of our electricity to come from clean, renewable energy by the year 2035. Across the state, New Jersey is being bombarded with dirty energy projects like pipelines, power plants, and compressor stations, all of which take a huge toll on public health and safety and exacerbate the effects of climate change. Time is running out for fighting climate change. Without an immediate and radical shift to renewable energy, New Jersey will suffer from rising sea levels, more extreme weather events like Hurricane Sandy, and devastating impacts on agriculture. Runnemede's investment from fossil fuels and converting to clean, renewable energy would benefit public health and safety, slow the impacts of climate change, and will ultimately create thousands of green jobs around the region and the state. The technology to make the shift already exists. What's needed is political will. Food and Water Watch and the South Jersey Democratic Socialists have been asking towns around South Jersey to pass resolutions calling on the state legislature to halt all new fossil fuel infrastructure and create a real clean energy plan. Glassboro recently passed this resolution, and several other towns are currently considering it as well. I'm urging the Runnemede Council tonight to consider passing this resolution, 100% renewable energy by 2035. I'm aware that Mayor Capatos and Councilman Ranieri have each individually signed off the Off Fossil Fuels Pledge, and I commend them for commitments to creating a better planet. It's time for the whole borough to adopt the same pledge. I have copies of the resolution and fact sheets for the mayor and each of the council members here to review, and hopefully I can answer any questions they have. Thank you.
Yeah, please
Thank
give
you.
the copy of the resolution to the clerk. Actually, Mr. Ranieri and I are dedicated to this, and it's one of the projects we're looking to do in the future. Mr. Ranieri is heading that up. Do you want to speak anything about what we're looking at?
Well, we are currently looking, we want all of our municipal buildings to be solar, self-sustaining. And we're considering a charging station in the borough parking lot. We are in the middle of an energy audit right now with the state to review all of our buildings and bring them up to higher energy standards with the assistance from the state to help pay for it. And we're open to any and all suggestions. I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and I look forward to reading it and getting involved. We definitely are on the same track as you, and that's a decent period of time, right?
Yes.
2035. I think we could do it.
That's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Did you find out because we had signed the petition? Is that why you knew to come here, or is this something you're just looking to do?
I'm actually, my organization is involved with Food and Water Watch, where we collaborate together. And in researching for tonight, I found the elected official pledge with both their names on it from their website.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else wish to speak? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address. You can come up together, that's fine.
Actually, he's a resident, I'm not a resident. I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah, please just,
What's your address?
A little closer.
65 Mitchell?
Yeah. He's trying to pledge for his,
Please talk in the microphone for us.
for.
Could we get a name
son.
too?
Oh, yes.
What's your name?
Uh,
Brother?
What's his name?
And what's your last name?
Do the best you can.
That's fine. And you're just you're helping to translate?
Yes.
Please.
They had, they didn't know the ordinance of the township at the time when they got some chickens.
Yes.
In the yard. And, there was probably a complaint and they were asked to be removed
Yes.
from the property. And the chickens were removed, but they are trying to get them back because wherever they have them in Glasgow, I think somewhere, a farm, the person over there doesn't care about them much. They go and visit, and he has a son that's 9 years old, and he was very attached to the chickens, and he wants them back if we could work.
Well, I think the last time that you come in front of us, we had asked if there was a medical reasoning and things like that. And I recall that we did get a letter from a doctor, physician, but he had made it clear that there was many types of animals that would be good for the child to help him. He didn't just specify chickens, he said there was other ones. And our ordinance doesn't allow, because we're not necessarily a farming community. Now, many members of council have looked at chicken programs, because some of the other municipalities are looking at it also, but we have to be considerate to our neighbors. That's the underlying reason.
I guess the across the street neighbor, right now, that person moved already from that property. He doesn't live there anymore. They had a dog, and that dog was barking constantly because of the chickens. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe there was a smell or something.
Okay.
That's why. But right now, it's that person. It's not at the property anymore.
But our ordinance still, the only thing, and I don't even know if we can do this, we can't even grant a variance, because it's our current law. Yeah, we have no remedy.
Because it's a blanket prohibition.
It's a blanket, but we have no remedy to do this, other than, once again, if there was some substantiated medical reason,
Might be limited to.
maybe an individual chicken that was I hate to use the word, well, it's a therapy chicken, or and
That's
it's,
a possibility.
we would be very willing to look at that for you. But once again, we would need something so that we could justify why we're doing this. Because we can't have,
The ordinance before, probably they would not even start from it. Right now, they are so upset, especially the they're going.
once again, this ordinance predates all of us by decades.
I'm aware, I live in another municipality, and that doesn't allow also. I
They
was
don't.
thinking myself, and I know some other townships, they allow, depends on.
Well, may I say something?
Sure, sure.
Even if some of these townships do have a pilot program to see if it's going to work, and if the residents can handle the noise levels, the smells, and things like that, it's limited. It's limited to a certain amount of chickens, 1 or 2, They limit how many they can have over a period of time. How many chickens are you talking about?
They had 7.
That's a lot for Runnemede. I don't think there's any program that entails that. No.
No, and I do want to say that I do recall some of the complaints were that the chickens were, ran a little bit loose, and they moved around a little bit too much.
I'm not aware of.
Yes, I mean, my own uncle has hundreds of chickens, but they're on a farm. So that's our purpose of zoning, is to, distinguish where permitted uses are allowed. So at this point, unless, like I said, we feel for the child, we'd like to help in any way you can, but I know that the doctor had submitted a letter to us, but he was very open for many different things. So if it was more specific, I think we could help you out, but he said that it was everything would help the child and make him happy. Sorry about that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak? Seeing no one else, is there a motion to close the public portion? Motion by Ms. Lobenstein, second by Ms. Passio. All in favor?
Aye.
The public portion is closed. There was just one thing I wanted to state. Obviously, I do want to thank everyone for congratulating myself and Mr. Lobenstein and Ms. Kelly for our primary election victory yesterday. But obviously, the business of the borough has to continue. One of the things that I have been talking a lot about, I don't know if I brought it up at the caucus meeting, but I want to try to move very quickly on resolving a few issues in a couple of our ordinances. The chicken ordinance is not one that I was looking at right now, but we do have some issues with non-conforming uses. Myself and the code enforcement official and many business owners have told me that there are some of our ordinances are a little too onerous and a little too difficult for our businesses and things like that. So I was talking to Mr. Long today about some of these things. I just wanted to let everyone know that the thought process is to look at a few of these ordinances and tweak a few of them. I think I did talk to Mr. Bayshore about this, where I'm not saying we need to change our ordinances completely in some of these aspects, but that we have more of a flexibility, understanding non-conforming use, that there might be a reason why we maybe not force somebody to go 100% to the ordinance, that there is some latitude because of circumstances that we grant the zoning officer to allow. As you know, a lot of laws that we have are very, very distinct. You know, they're black or white. And I think that there are some areas that are gray. There are some issues that are minimal issues that we should be able to allow without the onerous process of coming in front of the planning board for some, you know, minimal, very minimal that I'm talking about. Yes, you know, 4 inches here or something like that where, you know, there might be a reason or a hardship, which is a typical criteria for coming in front of the land use board. But I think that if we tweak our ordinance a little bit, that might make it easier for people. I think all of us want to be more business friendly and more resident friendly. So I sit on the planning board, myself and Mr. Ranieri on the planning board, we see these things happening. And I think we have an obligation that when we see these things constantly coming in front of the board, or we hear complaints from both the businesses and the residents, we have the power to go in and tweak those ordinances and make them a little better. So I would like to try to get something on as quickly as possible over the summertime and get it done. I did actually want to do it. I did want to do a first reading tonight, but I'm not going to do that and move so quickly because I know the clerk hates when I do that. But there were a couple of paragraphs that I wanted to start to amend, but we'll get on that over the next couple of weeks.
Excuse me, Mayor. So the amendments are going to come from zoning, they're going to come from engineering, they're going to come from you, and
well, it's from the engineer, from our solicitor, and from the zoning officer. Some things have been identified and how exactly we change the wording so that the wording is either a little more flexible or has some given it without complete latitude that we couldn't defend it. You know what I mean? It has to be, you know, defined enough that we could defend why we would do something. So I've identified a few paragraphs and things like that, a few ordinances, but like I said, we'll get this together a little more fine-tuned so that we have it so that the clerk doesn't like me to amend it twice. So we'll do it once. And that's about it. So at this point, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Okay, motion by Ms. Passio,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Ranieri. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.